This is your checklist to work a high-impact, high-profit 4-hour workday. My name is Kayla Jetta. I am one of the co-hosts of the Live Your Yes Life podcast. And if you didn't know, we have a book available on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, and Walmart.com, and a coaching club by the same name, Live Your Yes Life. And that is exactly what we help people do. My co-host and I, we are life coaches for entrepreneurs. And we help our clients live their very best life funded by their business. Our clients come to us because they want to experience both stability and expansion. They want freedom and fulfillment. And so we do the inner work that creates outer results. We combine our experience and expertise with tangible business strategy to help our clients build sustainable business that creates results and income. And we pair that with soul nourishing work so that our clients can lean into their intuition and live their most honest and aligned lives. And today I'm going to share with you my checklist to work a high impact, high profit 4-hour workday. These are the exact things that I use every day, every workday. I'll clarify that in a moment, to keep my workdays short and sweet. Now, I want to start by telling you that even though I'm going to keep saying I do these every day, what I really mean is every work day. And I certainly do not work every day. So pretty much as a rule, Lisa and I do not work Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. And we also take the last week of the month as a flex week. So maybe we work a day or two during that week if there's something going on, but also we might just be on vacation or having a staycation. And we have found that this is incredibly possible because of the things that we're doing on this daily checklist. It keeps us laser focused to be growing our business in a way that creates a lot of stability and productivity while also creating a lot of freedom in our life. And P.S., I have a PDF for you of this checklist if you're a visual person and you want to be able to see it, print it off, reference it. And I also have some links to other helpful tools and resources that I'll mention, and they're all linked on the PDF of the checklist. So you can just hit the link in the show notes to get a PDF copy of the checklist for yourself. I'm going to break this into 3 sections. So starting with early morning, and what I mean by that is before I'm in my workday, then what I'm actually doing during my workday, and what's on the checklist after work. And the things that are happening before and after work are part of what allow me to have a short and powerful workday. And you're going to see why as we get into it. So let's get started with, I'm going to say early morning, but I'll be honest and tell you it's not really early. My morning starts usually around 7 or 7:30. So to me, that's not too early, but I don't typically start working until 10 at the earliest, usually though more like 10:30 or 11. So what I'm doing in my morning hours before work, one of the first things that I'm always doing is a ritual for intention setting and alignment. We call this your Yes Life Wealth ritual. It's a short ritual. Mine takes me about 15 minutes. You can choose your own adventure. And this is something that we have a link to in the checklist if you want to know, well, what is a morning ritual? How do I create one? We have an example that you can follow. The intention of the morning ritual is to get into alignment with your vision, with possibility, with the intention that you are holding for yourself, your business, your life, all of the priorities and the things that are most important to you. And so even though it's only about 15 minutes of my morning, it starts me with clarity and direction so that I'm not trying to chase the day or catch up with the day, but I'm setting the tone and letting my day match the energy that I'm bringing to it. And after my morning intention setting, my morning ritual, then I am fueling and hydrating my body with nourishment. So this is when I'm having a delicious, healthy breakfast, making sure that I am nourishing myself, taking my vitamins, getting my water for the day, like starting that intake to break my fast and fuel my body with the things that it needs in order to sustain itself and have energy throughout the day. And of course, this is not the only time that I'm eating during the day, but I'm laying the foundation with healthy nutrients. After that, sunlight and fresh air, along with moving and stretching my body. I try to do these things together as much as I can. Sometimes in the summer, I will do my wealth ritual sitting outside or eat my breakfast outside. In the dead of winter where I live, when it's -0, I can't necessarily eat my breakfast outside, but I do try to get a little bit of sunlight and fresh air to start my morning, no matter the weather. Sometimes that means I'm putting on my rain jacket. Sometimes it means I'm putting on my full snowsuit. But there is something really powerful about getting a dose of fresh air and that natural vitamin D. It is setting the tone for the day. It's allowing me to show up for the rest of my day, being my best self. And then, of course, getting some movement, which could look like, and mine varies from day to day, it could look like a more intense workout. It could be a walk with my dogs. It could be a simple couple minute stretch. Sometimes it's just me putting on kind of a vibey song and letting my body just naturally move in a way that feels good, that's really gentle. It's different every day depending on my cycle, but I am making sure that I am dedicating myself to a movement practice. And all of these things, these 4 things that I've mentioned, my morning ritual, fueling my body, sunlight and fresh air, and moving and stretching are like primers that allow me to show up for my short and sweet workday that's packed with a punch. And P.S., on the PDF of the checklist, I do have a link to the playlist that I use every morning. It's a Spotify link so that you can follow along with my playlist if you want. The first few songs are all just vibey meditation. You can journal to them. And then the next handful, probably I think like 40 songs after, I don't listen to the whole playlist every day, but I bop around, pick and choose, and they are more upbeat, high intention songs. It is my playlist to start my day with peace and power. And I have a link so that you can get the free playlist if you want. So that's how I'm starting my day. I am allowing myself to be committed to those things. And really, I'm doing those things, whether it's a work day or not. I'm always priming myself in the same way. I can recall when I used to work in corporate America that I did not do any of those things before I started my workday. And my work days were long and grueling, and I often felt like I was spinning my wheels and wasn't gaining any traction. And it's because I did not have a strong foundation from which to start. So if you can only do one of the things on this checklist, I would start by picking with one of the things from this morning section. And that is my good recommendation is don't try to do this entire playlist tomorrow, or this entire checklist, I should say. Don't try to do this entire checklist tomorrow. Pick one thing and start to build that as a habit. And once you have that one thing become your habit, then add one more. And I would highly recommend that you start with one of these things from the morning section. Okay, so now we're getting into the workday. And my goal is to work a 4-hour workday 4 days a week. Do I sometimes work a little bit more? Yes, of course it happens. But for the most part, most of my days stay around 4 hours. And there are 4 things that I'm doing in my day. The first thing that I do is what's called my daily method of operation, or DMO. And I have a full training on what this is. It is too much for me to go into details here, but the high-level overview of a daily method of operation is it's focusing in on the 2 or 3 areas that are revenue generating and move the business forward, and then the specific actions you take underneath. And that is how I start every workday. I want to be sure that I'm always putting a focus on the most important things that move the needle in my business, that generate revenue, and I am tackling those things first while I have this high energy. So when I come into my workday, I'm doing my DMO. It takes about an hour. That's what I would recommend. And if you take the DMO training, you're going to hear me go into what a DMO is, how to make it, but it's the first thing that I'm doing in my workday. Then I'm just delivering the service or product. So for me as a life coach, I have coaching calls with my clients, or I am creating a new digital product, but I'm somehow doing the actual work of my job. The third thing that I'm doing is moving the needle on any projects in my business. So for example, this podcast is a project for us. And so I don't have to make a podcast recording every day, but for the most part, most days I'm checking in and seeing, are there any projects? Are there any ongoing things that I need to put a little time and energy into? And so a couple times a month, this is one of the things that I do in my day. I sit down and record a podcast. or whatever other projects there may be. I spend a small amount of time on those things most days. And the fourth and final thing that I'm doing in my workday is some kind of self-development. I'm reading, I'm listening to a training or a podcast, I'm getting coached by my coach. I am making sure that I'm pouring into myself. This should be part of everyone's job. Now, personal development and self-development cannot be anyone's full-time job, but it's really helpful if it is a small part of everyone's job. It allows us to show up as our best self. And this is where I want to put a shameless plug for our coaching club. It's called the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club. If you are someone that is looking for a community, a resource, a place to go in and get self-development that meets you where you're at, look no further than the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club. Think of this really like coaching on demand. We have a private membership portal where you can show up and ask for coaching support anytime that you want it. You can ask for coaching on anything with your business, your life, your relationships, your health and wellness. Maybe you're trying to create some consistency or accountability or follow through. You can get coached on any of it. And so you can come and share a request for coaching and you will get that in the membership portal. We also have monthly hot seat coaching opportunities where you can get real-time coaching on Zoom. And there's more perks as well. Networking, monthly book clubs, a 50% saving on all of our digital products. So if you're looking for a spot to say, where do I go for personal development? Check out the Live Your Yes Life book club. It will be hyperlinked in the show notes. Okay, so that's what my workday looks like. Every workday, I'm doing my DMO and I am delivering the service that people actually hire me for. And then I'm also checking in, are there any projects that need my attention? And am I pouring into myself with some self-development? Then we get to the afternoon or the evening. My 4-hour workday is done, and now I have the rest of the day to myself. And here is a list of things that I may be doing in any particular order. Things like, I'm just gonna have fun. Maybe I'll be creative. Maybe I'm playing. Maybe I'm moving my body. I'm just doing something that I love, something that brings me joy. I might be spending time with a friend or family member. I might be enjoying nature or animals. I'm horseback riding, or I'm with my dogs, or I'm kayaking. I am reading a book just for fun, not the business development book that I'm reading during my workday. Just something for fun, a fiction book, a fantasy, something that just brings me joy and gives me inspiration. I also am using every night to relax, to take a bath, to stretch my body, to allow myself space for rest and restoration. And I'm also making sure to unplug from screens at least an hour before bed. Letting my nervous system start to calm down, my eyes stop looking at all of the blue lights, and just getting into that cadence of the sun is going down, I'm communicating to my body that it's time to rest. All of this is teeing me up for the next day. What happens before and after work is just as important as what is happening during the workday, because it's how we are setting ourselves up for a productive and powerful workday. I'm able to work about 4 hours every day because I'm not being distracted by all of the other things. There is time in my day for the other things that need to happen. It's just not happening during my workday because I'm able to show up focused and I know what things I'm going to be taking action on because I already have a game plan mapped out for me. So like I said, my recommendation is to download the PDF of this checklist and start with one thing that is not on your list right now and start making that become a habit. And I recommend that you choose one thing from the morning section to build a new foundation. And as that becomes your new normal, then you can pick up another and another and another until all of a sudden that you find that you've been able to cut your workday in half, but you're able to increase your impact and income because you're taking actions that are specific and intentional and high impact. And it makes all the difference. Okay, before we go, I want to remind you that the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club is open for enrollment. If you are looking for a coach in your corner, a coach on demand, the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club is where you want to go. It is a spot where you can show up and ask for support when you need it. There are no modules, there are no courses, there are no workshops. It is just a place for you to come and get coaching on whatever you want coaching on. There's nothing to fall behind on, but it is a resource for you to have a coach who is in your corner. And I promise you that it's a one-time investment with lifetime access is gonna be less than you are expecting. So head to the link in the show notes to check it out and join us in the Live Your Yes Life Coaching Club today. So fun to be here with you for our podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in a future episode.